Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to episode 2 of Bandai's Y-Wing. So, last episode we got this glued in. I've gone and since added a little bit more glue in there just to give it that extra bit of strength. So, we now want to prep the actual picture frame itself. So we are going to mask up with just some cheap electrical masking tape. The edges, excuse my head if it's in the way. Okay, so that is that done. This is just to protect the picture frame for when we start putting in the filler and allowing the filler to dry and getting it painted up with a base colour. So here's our filler, but before we do that I'm going to have a last play around with how I want it, because once this filler goes on and starts to dry, once it's dry we ain't doing nothing else. So I am looking to have probably the main body crashed, so this sort of angle. We want the nose piece to be still partially attached but quite literally going the wrong way, and then possibly this engine pod still attached, or this one still attached here, and have this one here broken slightly. So bring this forward a bit. Like this. And then off camera I have gone and modified people. We also have the R2 unit built, so the R2 unit is going to sit somewhere here, but I've modified these guys, this one, so it looks like he's, let me take him off, I'm going to have him leaning up against the ship like so, and we're going to have this guy somewhere face down in the dirt, already dead. I'm going to have the R2 unit sitting there like a sentry guarding his fallen comrades. So that is the basic plan. Then we're going to put some rocks in the corners, maybe something like this. So it's not just a plain desert. Completely random, or as random as we can get it anyway. Like so. So that is the sort of effect we are looking for. So I'm going to get prepped, going to get some gloves on, get all this lot cleaned off, and I'm going to take some pictures of this, because this is also being built for the Summer Sci-Fi SIG over on the ISM forums. I will put a link in the description below for ISM forums. Go along, sign up. There's loads and loads of really good stuff going on. Loads of these little SIG builds, loads of hints and tips, and altogether a pretty good community. It's been a long time since I've used a forum, so it's taking some getting used to use them again, but we're getting there. So I'll get this lot cleaned up, get the polyfiller ready, get some gloves on, and I shall talk to you in a moment. Okay folks, we are prepped and ready for making a mess. So we have our filler, and I am probably going to go ahead and speed this footage up because this stuff gets really messy and I shall be concentrating on what I am doing. So I will talk to you once this is done. Folks, as you can see, we have probably used about 2/3 of the tub. Thankfully this stuff isn't expensive, so it's a nice cheap alternative to using something like Milliput or something like that. So this, as you can see, is quite tacky, so I am going to give this around about half an hour to dry off. We put a little bit of a ridge in there as well, so I'm going to give it about 20 minutes, half an hour to dry off, and we can then come and smooth it out a little bit more and add in the stones, because it'll still be soft but it just won't be tacky. So see you in a minute. Okay folks, that's had about half an hour and we are just going around and smoothing everything off. Not perfectly smooth, just smoother, making sure it's all touching the sides, etc. We can then start to add rocks and engine parts. So I don't think we want it any smoother than that. Obviously we are going to be going over the top of this with the ballast once it's all in position. So I'm going to get the rocks and get the bits ready, and I'll be back in a second. Okay folks, we have started adding some of the rocks and other bits and pieces. So we are just choosing random rocks and putting them in random spots. So this part is hopefully going to be, so now we want to push this into there like so. We'll probably get another rock under there like so. Push it back in. There we go. And then we're going to be wanting, lift that up. So we can see we've left the impression of where it's going to be going. So we want this like so. There we go, and then we're going to have this piece on here. Have the back of that like so, and we're going to have this other last piece in there like so. So we're going to want to get a few more random rocks in. And then we are going to want this figure. Put them in there like so. Push this figure in there. Have the R2 figure, last but not least, sitting somewhere around there like so. So, take these gloves off. We will zoom in a little bit, so you can, and we'll move this around so you can see what exactly it is that we've done. So you can see the figures there, there, and there. And the engine part, again some rocks in there, and we'll have all the rocks underneath here. So now we are going to let this all dry out, and then we will lift everything out and we can start painting. So talk to you shortly. Hey folks, so we've just finished putting the stones and stuff on, and I've gone and added fine buff, and we've also added some more of the coarse buff. So I have been taking pictures, but I forgot to take video. So I'm going to put a little slideshow of some of the pictures I've taken up now, so you can see the progress with the diorama. Talk to you in a moment. Okay folks, so it is complete. So here we have it, the completed diorama. As you can see, we are almost dry with this now. There's still little bits coming off here and there, but for the most part it's finished. So this has been done for a couple of days now, so it's still a little bit soft in some places because there's quite a lot of polyfiller in there. If I was to push hard, I'd go straight through that upper surface. So that is going to take several days to dry. So we've been getting on with, look at these bits everywhere, it makes a right mess of your table, this stuff. So we have been getting on with the Y-wing. It is now all broken down into pieces. There's one over here. So that was one engine, this is the other. We then have the smaller pieces. The canopy has been masked, ready to be painted. We've got the figures, the guns, the accents, not decided what colour to go for yet. And of course we have the body, and we have the... oh, I've got so many things on the go. And we have the cockpit somewhere. I'll put it somewhere safe. I have no idea. It's around here somewhere. And we have been going ahead and we've added all the small pipes to the main body, but we've applied some damage to it. So if you look on the back of here, zoom in a little bit, we've gone and added, well, we've not added any damage really. All we've done is bent them in all different ways and shapes. So once this actually gets painted up, we will probably pull a few more of these ones towards the front out. I also need to do something with these very straight edges, because if you can imagine, if this was to be ripped out of there, it's not going to come off that clean, is it? So we shall see. I might just actually cover them up with something. I can certainly cover this side up with dust and dirt and grime, because it's going to be sitting with this part touching the deck, but this part is going to be up in the air. We shall have to think about it. So this is now about to go and get sprayed up black, so I'll have to make a decision pretty quick what I'm going to do with this. So anyway, I'm going to spray this up. I'm not going to show it. So when it's done, we will have, it'll be primed in black, and then we will paint it in probably the same as what we did the Millennium Falcon in, which is the deck tan, or maybe the buff. We shall see. So anyway, I shall carry on, make a decision on what to do with this, and talk to you shortly. Okay folks, before we start spraying, I have gone and added, not a huge amount, a little bit of damage to that. Like I say, not a huge amount, and it's only going to be visible from above. And all we've used to do that is a few of these metal files with different shapes. So we've just gone over it with the round one, the triangular one, and the flat one, just to get some different sort of score marks and scratches and stuff. So on with the paint, and I shall talk to you once all of that is done. Ta-ta. Okay folks, that is the primer onto the Y-wing. So I'm not sure how long, again, I'm never sure how long these videos have gone on for, so I'm going to call this one here. We don't want them too long. So when we come back, we will have the primary colours done, and we shall start adding a detail painting and a weathering, etc. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Be good, be safe, keep making models, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta.